Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachati Satarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachati Satarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare He Bachayo Jayo Gauracha Radhika Shobha Jayo Jayo Gaurachande Radhika Shobha Chana Vitata Vanti Jaga Madaloba Chana Vitata Vanti Jaga Madaloba Lakhi Ame Gatadhara Dakhi Nitai Cham Ame Gatadhara Nikate Advaita Sri Vasa Chadhada Nikate Advaita Sri Vasa Chadhada Vashi Yache Gaurachan Radna Simhasane Vashi Yache Gaurachan Radna Simhasane Arati Korena Brahma Adi Devagane Arati Korena Brahma Adi Devagane Narahariya Tikori Chamarajulaya Narahari Atikori Chamarajulaya Sanchaya Mukunda Vadu Gosha Atigaya Sanchaya Mukunda Vasu Gosha Atigaya Bache Kanta Bache Bache Karathala Shankar Bache Kanta Bache Bache Karathala Madhura Miranga Bache Parama Prasala Madhura Miranga Bache Parama Prasala Shankapache Gandhabache Madhurma Purama Purabache Shankapache Gandhabache Madhurma Purama Purabache Shankapache Gandhabache Madhurma Purama Purabache Shankapache Gandhabache Madhurma Purabache Madhurma Purabache Madhurma Purabache Hari Bol Gol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Haribo Bahu Koti Chanta Chini Vajana Uchwala Bahu Koti Chanta Chini Vajana Uchwala Kallate Shevana Mala Kore Chalamala Kallate Shevana Mala Kore Chalamala Shiva Shukha Narada Preme Gatha Gatha Shiva Shukhanarata Preme Gatha Gatha Bhakti Vinoda Dekhe Gaurara Sampada Bhakti Vinoda Dekhe Gaurara Sampada Kivachayo Jayo Gaurachante Ada Kikashoba Jayo Jayo Gaurachante Ada Kikashoba Chana Vitata Jaga Manaloba Chana Vitata Jaga Manaloba Gaurange Aroti Shoba Jaga Chana Manaloba Gaurange Aroti Shoba Jaga Chanamanaloha Gaurange Aroti Shoba Jaga Chanamanaloha Gaurange Aroti Shoba Jaga Chanamanaloha Jaga Chanamanalopa Jaga Chanamanalopa Haribo 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 Nittai Gaura Haribo Nittai Gaura Haribo 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 Gaura Haribo Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Nitai Satchitsum, Jaya Nitai Satchitsum, Nitai Satchitsum, Jaya Nitai Satchitsum, Nitai Satchitsum, Nitai Satchitsum, no, let the box. Let the box. Nitai Satchitsum, Nitai Satchitsum, Nitai Satchitsum, Jaya Nitai Satchitsum, Nitai Satchitsum, Nitai Satchitsum, Nitai Satchitsum, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Plant, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Prabhupada, 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 Jai, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Ananda Gaudiya Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Bachakacharya Shatarashada Shri Srimad Aisi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Bachakacharya Shatarashada Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda, Shri Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki Jai. Ganga Maya Yamuna Maya ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Tulasi Maharani ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktarinda ki Jai. Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladala Padayane. Praladala Padayane. Hiranyakashi Purvaksha. Hiranyakashi Purvaksha. Shilatanka Nakalaye. Shilatanka Nakalaye. Ito Nishinga Parata Nishinga. Ito Nishinga Parata Nishinga. Yato Yato Yamitato Nishinga. Yato Yato Yamitato Nishinga. Wahirishima Hidaye Nishinga. Wahirishima Hidaye Nishinga. Narasim Hamadim Shadanam Prapade. Rishim Hamadim Shadanam Prapade. Abhakara Kamala Mure Nakam Nabuddhalinga. Dalita Tiranya Kashipu Tanubringha Keshavati Nara Hare Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Abba Kadakamala Bade Nakam Abudasitha Dalita Hridanya Kashipu Tanu Bringha Isopanisad Nara Hare Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Nara Hare Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nisimhade 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 Jaya Nisimhade 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 Jaya Nisimhade Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jai Prahlad Maharaj Jai Prahlad Nrisimhadev 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 Jai Nrisimhadev Nrisimhadev Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Gaura Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Welcome. Welcome Ben, welcome Vashana Mataji, welcome Prakash, Rashmi Mataji, welcome Rituan and Amrita Radhe Mataji. Rashmi Mataji all the way from India, from Bombay. Hare Krishna. At 1:30 at night. Hare Krishna. Okay. That key you can keep. That's your key.
It's under there. What did you do with it?
Where's the
I
key?
can't remember where it is. I'll get it later.
I give it back to Vashana.
Okay, so it must be in the kitchen somewhere.
Somewhere. Give it to him,
Yeah, okay.
right? Make sure you take it. So next time, no
Oh,
problem.
that's good. No problem. Because someone could clock.
Yeah, yes, they're doing that all the time. We can keep the gate closed. The black gate, because you have a key, Rashmi has a key, right? And if the other gate is also closed, it's a little bit stiff. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashoda Nandana Jaya Braja Chanaranjana Jai Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Chanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Kuncha Bihari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Kuncha Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kuncha Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kuncha Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Tai Tai Gauranitai, Gauranitai. Jaya Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva. Nitai Sachi Sundar, Nitai Sachi Sundar, Nitai Sachi Sundar, Jaya Nitai Sachi Sundar, Nitai Sachi Sundar, Nitai Sachi Sundar, Jaya Nitai Sachi Sundar, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Welcome Rituan Prabhuji and Amrita Radha Mataji.
Namo Vishnupad Paramahamsa.
We did that already.
You said it already?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
You want to do it again?
No, I don't.
Yes, we do that normally before the singer prayers, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, normally, yeah, sorry.
Oh, I get it wrong. I could. Okay, Rituan Prabhuji, Amrita Radha Mataji, are you here?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Padma is here?
Yes, Prabhu.
Tejas is here?
Tejas is sleeping with his grandfather.
Okay, you get a break. Tejas is sleeping. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you very much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
The other day, someone knocked on the door, just like you. And there was a lady outside. She said, "Do you have some malas?" Oh, mala. Okay, I opened the door. Yes, they have a mala. What are you chanting? Oh, she said, "I'm chanting Vaheguru, which is a Sikh mantra." So I told her, "Did you know? Because it's very esoteric. Not everybody knows." I have been told that many years ago, we went to the Welfare Road Gurdwara as a group.
Yes.
Quite a number of devotees. They especially made prasadam for us without the onion and garlic. It was an official visit. And so we talked a little bit with one gentleman. Welcome, Jayanti Bhai. And he said, I know the esoteric meaning of Vaheguru. Va, that V stands for Vasudev. I thought, wow, Vasudev. That is Vasudev Krishna. He said, yes, correct. The H stands for Hari. Wow, Hari. So it says, Vasudeva says, Hari. So Chi stands for Govinda. And the R in Ru stands for Ram. He said, not everybody knows that. So I told her, and she didn't know that either. So, because some, as I have been told by Keshava Prabhu long time back, some Sikhs, they say, yes, there is Ram. The name of Ram is in the Guru Granth Sahib, the Holy Scripture. And then they're saying, that is not the same Ram as the Hindus worship, it's a different Ram. But they couldn't say which Ram, and I know nothing. So I said, don't know. Because Sikhism is very much related to Vaishnavism. Guru Nanak has been in Jagannath Puri at the time of Lord Chaitanya, and probably they met. So, no surprise that there is connections there. So, I told her, because as devotees we're taking every opportunity to introduce people to the chanting of Hare Krishna. I said, yes. First of all, she said, I'm going to Las Vegas. Okay. So, and if I chant and the beads on my finger, then my mind becomes controlled. No? Some people are very much fixed on, they're saying they're getting all scientific, there are pressure points in the finger, and then you calm down, and that may all be. That's of course not while we're chanting. But I said, that's correct. So what you should do to amplify Vaheguru, you chant one Vaheguru and then you chant one Mahamantra. Do you know the mantra? She said, no. I gave her invitation leaflet written down. Since you chant, so one Vaheguru, one Hare Krishna mantra, one Vaheguru, one. She said, yes, I will do Hare Krishna. So we'll take every opportunity. Sometimes the opportunity knocks on the door. And if you're a Hare Krishna center, then you get these opportunities more often than if you are in...
I talk to people about spiritual life, but I know for a lot of them, Krishna is just too much of a stretch.
It's too much.
Not at the moment.
So take some prasadam.
I realize you have to cultivate people sometimes for a long time.
Yes.
And then
Just keep talking.
I thought I found someone who was a good candidate, but he seemed very receptive to begin with, but he met a woman and that was it.
Yes, keep talking to them every opportunity. Okay, let's see what we give a class on tonight. What we, any suggestion? Anyone? Anyone? Free suggestion. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, whichever scripture, you name it.
Why don't
You name it.
why don't you give a class about
Can't hear.
Panchatapa?
Rashmi Madachi, can you hear now? Oh, even Rashmi said Ben is locked outside. Okay, yes, so he's now here. He has a key now, and from now on he's never going to be locked outside. Rashmi Madachi, can you hear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
When Ben was speaking, you couldn't hear?
I didn't even realize Ben was speaking. So maybe, yes, I
So
did.
now you know how it feels on the other end when you or anybody else are talking without a microphone. Now you know how it feels. Okay. Any verse? Rituan? Amritarate? Anyone?
Can we speak on the verse?
We can maybe, for a chain study, Isopanisad, the first verse, just suggesting Prabhu.
Now that is quite best.
What was that?
Sri She said the first verse of Isopanisad.
Isopanisad.
First.
Yes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnam Purnadupajyate Purnamadaya Purnam Evashvashishyate. Yes, we'll do that. It's esoteric. Well, it's Upanishads. Let's find it. Let's zoom in. Okay. ISO 1. We got 334 references. Mantra 1. It's not Om Purnam.
That's the invocation. That's before that verse. That's the invocation.
Yes, that's the that's the invocation.
That's the first verse. Everything
Mantra 1. Which verse do you mean, Amrita Radhimadaji?
That's one.
This Mantra 1's
Yeah, the one that you just recited, Prabhu. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. I'm just suggesting if you
Okay.
know some
Yes,
some other words,
fine.
we can discuss that.
That's before the verse. That's one. That's the invocation mantra through the Isopanisad.
Right. Okay, let's share that screen.
Go back a little bit.
Before.
Yeah, because it's an invocation
That
mantra
wasn't
to
that
a.
one. She wants to
That's
know
it. Yes,
what
yes.
Yeah, you said-
Okay, thank you very much.
It's not
It's an invocation, yes. Okay, let's share that screen, and Ben, you can recite that in a moment. So everybody can see now. Okay, Ben, very loudly, go ahead.
Om Purnam Mada Purnam Midam Purnat Purnam Udashyate Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Va Eva Vishyate Eva
Vashishyate.
Eva Vavishyate.
Yes, yes, yes. That's it. There is a beautiful song. I don't know if you know that. Om Purnam Ada Purnamidam Purnad Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. Very, very old. And it goes on chanting other mantras as well. Okay. Thank you, Amrita Radhimadaji. Translation. Ben.
Translation. The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete, and because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance.
And a bit of superbit.
The complete whole, or the supreme absolute truth, is the complete personality of Godhead. Realization of the impersonal Brahman, or of Paramatma, the Supersoul, is incomplete realization of the absolute complete. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Sakshit Ananda Vigraha. Realization of the impersonal Brahman is realization of his Sat feature, or his aspect of eternity. The Paramatma realization is realization of the Sat and Sit features, his aspects of eternity and knowledge. But realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is realization of all the transcendental features, Sat, Sit, Ananda, and Ananda, bliss. When one realizes the Supreme Person, he realizes these aspects of the Absolute Truth in their completeness. Vigraha means form. Thus, the complete whole is not formless. If he were formless, or if he were less than his creation in any other way, he could not be complete. The complete whole must contain everything, both within and beyond our experience. Otherwise, he cannot be complete. The complete whole, the personality of Godhead, has immense potencies, all of which are as complete as he is. Thus, this phenomenal world is also complete in itself. The 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation are arranged to produce everything necessary for the maintenance
At the bottom.
and subsistence of this universe. No other you lost me.
Bottom. Okay.
At the bottom.
Yes. No.
No other unit in the universe need make an extraneous effort to try to maintain the universe. The universe functions on its own timescale, which is fixed by the energy of the complete whole. And when that schedule is completed, this temporary manifestation will be annihilated by the complete arrangement of the complete whole.
Thank you. Let's pause here a moment. There's quite a bit. Of course, theoretically, we know all these things. We have heard it a million of times. Sat, Chit, Ananda, and increasingly the aspect Sat and Chit and Sat and Chit, Ananda. But there are some more deeper meanings. I was reading the other day that the Brahman, the all-pervading Brahman, right? Brahmajyoti, Brahman. Everything rests on that Brahman. Is actually some portion of Krishna. Small, minute portions of Krishna emanating everything. Yes, of course, as Krishna doesn't get diminished. If he radiates, and the example of the sun is given, the sun and the little quantum particles of the sun, portion of the sun. But the sun is not getting diminished, at least not measurable. And so in the same way, Krishna doesn't get diminished, where it's a crude example, because the sun will eventually cease to be in this universe, but Krishna will not. Krishna is before the sun and after the sun and in between. So Krishna particles are everywhere. Just imagine, Krishna particles are everywhere. So if we become conscious of that, Krishna is not only here, Krishna is everywhere. On the chair you're sitting, that's also Krishna. On the harmonium, the particles within every atom. So the trick is that we are conscious of Krishna at every moment. If Krishna is everywhere, then we have no difficulties. A devotee sees Krishna everywhere. That is probably some advanced Krishna consciousness, because we tend to see Krishna somewhere, and other times we forget that Krishna is everywhere. We just forget. Why do we forget? Because we want to enjoy Krishna's energy without even asking him, "Can I enjoy your energy, my Lord?" Some do ask him, "Please give me this, please give me that. Let me enjoy that, your energy." And he also sanctions that. But that's all what they get, nothing more. But devotees, they're not satisfied. In fact, as we make advancement in Krishna consciousness, our enjoying spirit is, what's the word, is cut down more and more and more. Because also by our experience in this material world, we have enjoyed so many things. And we know whatever this illusion presents to us, that is just the same thing we have already tried to enjoy and we were not satisfied, just in a different dress. Same thing in a different dress. Let's take one example, food. Or we want to enjoy this food and that food, not prasadam, talking about food. The supermarket. You go in the supermarket. Oh, everything is so nicely. I was the other day in Lidl. A whole aisle of Christmas snacks and cakes and you name it. So immediately the sense is, oh, that should taste nice. But if we see Krishna everywhere, then our mind is controlled. No, that is not food fit for a Vaishnav. That food cannot be offered. I should not enjoy separate from my Lord, in connection with my Lord. And in that connection we'll get purified. Everything in touch with Krishna will get purified. And the other day I was walking my chappa walk in the morning outside. It was not raining for a change. And it came to me some really in a strong realization. I thought, what a privilege to be able to chant Hare Krishna. What a privilege to be allowed to chant Hare Krishna. We don't often see it like that, isn't it? We just, oh, I have to chant Mass. I have to chant. I have to, yes, we have to, because we made promises. We took vows. But beyond I have to, there comes another stage. What a privilege we have in this lifetime of chanting Hare Krishna. That's a great privilege. Wow. How did we come into this position? We have been looking for that for millions of years. Somehow, by good fortune, and we know all our good fortune. My good fortune started when some Mataji, I wish Revati, she was not initiated at that time, she got shortly after initiated, Revati Mataji. She gave me Bhagavad Gita. She made me fortunate Send my good fortune. Sometimes there are some verses speaking about if someone is fortunate. And Srila Prabhupada has been asked, what does it mean, someone is fortunate? And Srila Prabhupada, because that sounds almost like a lottery. You either fortunate or you're not fortunate, either you win or you don't by chance. No. Srila Prabhupada said, we are their good fortune because we give them and distribute Krishna consciousness. Like that lady who wanted the chanting beads. Okay. By Krishna's arrangement, I have been her good fortune. She started chanting Hare Krishna. So we should see it like that. What a privilege of chanting Hare Krishna. In this lifetime, we have been made fortunate by some devotee. And we have, of course, we have to make others fortunate also. There are some don'ts and some do's in Krishna consciousness, right? So don'ts, so for don'ts, for principles, that we know very well. But there are some do's, things we have to do, and giving Krishna consciousness to others is one of the do's. We have to rack our brain how we can induce others, how we can make others fortunate. Because that is compassion. Srila Prabhupada says many times, Krishna consciousness is the greatest welfare work. Some people don't understand that at all. Welfare work. Welfare work means opening a hospital, giving money, helping the homeless, and this and that is welfare work. But where the greatest welfare work is giving someone this Maha Mantra, making them fortunate, inducing them to Krishna consciousness, because then the spiritual life starts. Gradually, 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 and in due course of time, the good fortune manifests more and more and more. Here Srila Prabhupada says, the universe functions on its own time scale, which is fixed by the energy of the complete whole, Krishna. And when that schedule is complete, the temporary manifestations will be annihilated by the complete arrangement of the complete whole. So here the Upanishads, they're using this kind of language. Complete whole, complete arrangement, and so on. Which is not really the language as devotees we complete whole. Yes, we understand, but we prefer to say Krishna, right? Not complete whole, but Krishna. Of course, Krishna is a complete whole, but we like to give a name to that complete whole. That is Krishna, beautiful Shyama Sundar, in his Tribhangananda, three-bent form, holding a flute, peacock feather in his crown. But the Upanishads, they appeal to the impersonalists, right? Because they are on the mental plane. So they like to understand the absolute. They're searching for the absolute. They're searching. But on the material plane, on the mental plane, because the mind is material. So they like this language. And they become very attached to this language. And Srila Prabhupada says, if someone practices this impersonal way for a long time, it's very difficult to get them off. Very difficult, because they cannot think outside that box. If someone is only a short time delves into impersonalism and this kind of language and then they can be pulled out of that. But in any case, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Chanmanam Ante Jnanabam Mam Prapatyante Vasudeva Saramiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. After many birth and death. So why say try to understand the Lord through that impersonal speculation? And after many births and death, they will come to understand it's actually Krishna what I was looking for. They need a bit of mercy from a devotee. They need to become fortunate. And by their own conclusion, speculating for many lifetimes, and eventually, because they're searching for the absolute, Krishna will put that absolute himself in front of them, in their heart. He makes them realize this absolute is actually Krishna. I heard of this Krishna. And then it is so beautiful because Krishna has form. Krishna has beautiful pastimes. Krishna is acting in wonderful ways, newer and newer, and he has a relationship with everybody in his different moods, and it's just so beautiful. And we, if our purification after some time, then we become more and more attracted. Then it's not anymore, I'll have to chant my rounds. It is getting out of bed and looking forward. I want to chant my rounds. I want to chant my rounds. There's this nice story. I think we'll have talked about it before. It comes from Atma Tattva. Atma Tattva Prabhu, our learned scholar, devotee. He was serving in the temple, and a gentleman came in, and he offered obeisances to the deities and say, Guru Vayurapam Ki Jai, or something like that. So he immediately recognized this gentleman is from South India, from Kerala, Guru Vayu. And so he spoke, because he himself is from Kerala. And the man said, I want to chant Hare Krishna. So Atma Tattva said, so what's the problem? I want to become a disciple of Prabhupada. So obviously he has heard or read something. He said, I want to become, he was a very old man. Then Atma Tattva said, there is a process. You have to serve in the temple, and then there is a recommendation by the temple president after some time, and then your name is put forward for initiation. And the man said, I have tried this, but they're asking me to mop the floor, and I cannot. And he showed his knees were all swollen, his legs full of water. I cannot serve like that. So, can you not ask Prabhupada if he takes me on as his disciple? And then Atma Tattva said, well, Prabhupada is coming in a few days here. Why don't you come and ask him? After all, he's a boss. He can decide over the head of the temple president if he wants to. And you come and you bring a plate, as it is tradition, with a coconut and some paraphernalia and a dakshin, some coins and flour and fruit, and you offer it to him. The man said, oh, we became all excited. Oh, yes, I will come, I will come. So in a few days, he came and he said, so can you ask Prabhupada now? And Atma Tattva said, I? You want to get initiated? You go. And he was very shy as a man. You go. He said, oh, why? There is darshan in half an hour or so. You go with a darshan. Actually, there's nobody in Prabhupada's room right now. The darshan has not started. That's your chance. Go up. So eventually the man went up. Prabhupada offered his obeisances. And he was so in excitement and anxiety. He had brought some chanting beads along, yes. And he held that beads. So Prabhupada, that blade in his hand, and he said, Prabhupada, I want to chant Hare Krishna. Then Prabhupada said, so, what's the problem? Do you know the mantra? He said, yes, I know the mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then Srila Prabhupada said, you know how to chant the mantra on the beads. Give me the beads. So he took the beads, and Prabhupada chanted, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna. He went to the second beat, and the man looked, because Prabhupada showed him how with his fingers and how to chant. And he said, you move around like that, and when you finish, you move in the other direction. So Prabhupada chanted, and the third beat, and the fourth beat, and the 10th beat, and the 20th beat. And Srila Prabhupada chanted a whole round in front of that man of Hare Krishna mantra on that beat. And then he gave him the beads back. That man was initiated on the spot. That's what Srila Prabhupada does. The Guru chants on the beads of the disciple and then give him the beads. So now you chant Hare Krishna, he said. Wow, and Atma Tattva, when he found out, he thought, wow, that mercy, that good fortune came to that man, that mercy. Srila Prabhupada initiated him without any formality. He initiated him Harinam initiation by giving him the beads, by chanting a whole round on his beads. So fortunate. And that man, obviously, he could appreciate very much. Years later, Atma Tattva came in that area again, and he thought, he was traveling, let me visit that man and see how he gets on with his chanting. So he came to his house, and the neighbors told him he passed away last month. He was very old. He passed away, and they told him more. In fact, in the last month or two, he was doing nothing else than chanting Hare Krishna on the beads. And he had a picture of Prabhupada in his room, and he was looking at Prabhupada and just chanting Hare Krishna. He hardly ate anything. He didn't socialize with anybody. He just chanted Hare Krishna in the last few months continuously. And in fact, after he had left his body, we couldn't take the beads out of his fingers. He was clasping them so strongly, so we burned him with the beads. So in Atma Tattva thought, this man has been so fortunate. So fortunate, without any formalities and recommendation from the temple president and mopping the floor and doing service in the temple for a year and. So, Srila Prabhupada can do this. He can do this. Also, other story which is well known, where Srila Prabhupada walked in the Radha Damodar temple. He made a round. Those who know the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, Said, no, you're gonna, a side entrance on the side of the altar, left side, you're walking out of that entrance, you're coming in the courtyard. There are many samadhis of wonderful Vaishnavas, great Vaishnavas. And you're walking then around and you come to Rupa and Sanatan Goswami samadhis. It's the very place where Srila Prabhupada swept the floor at night and cried, give me your mercy, Rupa. My Guru Maharaj asked me to do that preaching mission in the West, and I'm not qualified. Please give me your mercy. And then from that, you come back with some little steps, 2-3 steps up into the temple room. And one devotee, I forgot his name, it was on his mind for a long time, and he took the opportunity. He was just behind Srila Prabhupada. And he said, Srila Prabhupada, we are distributing so many books, but if people don't get initiated, they cannot go back home to Godhead. Because he heard in the temple, it was well known to the devotees, the understanding was you have to become initiated. And if you're not initiated, you cannot go back home to Godhead. So he voiced that. And Srila Prabhupada turned around and looked him right into the eye. And he said, by reading my books, they are initiated. Haribol. So, another big mercy. Of course, we're speaking of Harinam initiation. We're not speaking of Brahminical initiation. That is a completely different story. So, yes, people are who studying Srila Prabhupada's books and they're starting to chanting by the instructions in his books. They Harinam initiated. They're initiated in the chanting of the holy name. Just like that man got initiated without any formalities into the chanting of the holy name. Okay, that was a little bit of a story of why we are so fortunate, and we should feel ourselves so fortunate to chant Hare Krishna. Let's read a little bit more on that purport. All facilities are given to the small, complete units. That's us. To enable them to realize the complete whole. All forms of incompleteness are experienced to the incomplete knowledge of the complete whole. So again, Upanishadic language. One has to really twist one's mind a little bit to really logically understand what is said there. To realize the complete whole, Krishna, all forms of incompleteness, anything what is incomplete, in particular the living entities that feel incomplete, are experienced to the incomplete knowledge of the complete whole of Krishna. Yes, we have incomplete knowledge. If our knowledge would be complete, then we would be fully Krishna conscious. Not complete knowledge means ignorance. So we are covered with a certain portion of ignorance. We are covered with a certain portion of passion. And we are covered with a certain quantity of goodness. These are coverings. But once these coverings have been removed, then complete knowledge is there. And complete bliss is there as well. You want to read a little bit more, Ben? The human form of life.
human form of life is a complete manifestation of the consciousness of the living being, and it is obtained after evolving through 8,400,000 species of life in the cycle of birth and death. If in this human life of full consciousness, the living entity does not realize his completeness in relation to the complete whole, he loses the chance to realize his completeness and is again put into the evolutionary cycle by the law of material nature.
Okay, Sam, say something. What do you understand by that?
Well, it's kind of saying that that the living entity is going through all these different species of life, and that culminates in the opportunity to become a human being, and in that birth as a human being, the living entity has the opportunity to realize himself in relation to the complete whole. But if he neglects to take advantage of that opportunity, then he's missed the opportunity, and then he's got to go back into the evolutionary cycle in material nature. So from the human being, he can go back down to the animal life again, or any other species of life, and then he has to again go through the process to come back to the human form of life for his next opportunity. So if he misses that opportunity, it just means he's got to experience all these other experiences that he's already experienced before. So he's back in the samsara, the cycle of repeated birth and death in different forms of life. I'm just trying to think if there's a Bhagavad Gita verse that says that, about the if an individual loses, the opportunity to make spiritual progress and advancement in his life, then he's cast down again into like ignorance. And there's another verse that says that even if a living entity he makes a small step in the right direction in terms of making some spiritual progress or achieving some agata sukriti on someone who's maybe been in devotional service for a while, then there's no loss, no diminution in whatever service anyone performs to the Lord. It's a permanent asset to that person too.
Okay, thank you. Very well, nicely said. What's that verse, Rituhan Prabhuji? And little advancement on this path.
Prabhu, Swalpamapasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahata Bhayat. This portion I know, but the rest I don't remember. Swalpamapasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahata Bhayat.
The little advancement on this path protects one from the greatest kind of fear. Is that the verse?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Trayate Mahato Bhayat means Trayate
Yes.
means like protects and Mahat Bhayat. Yeah.
Yes,
That one.
protection. Yeah. Okay, so most people feel incomplete, but that's ignorance. Most people in general feel incomplete, and they want to counteract that incompleteness. Incomplete means dissatisfied. So they think, I will become complete by finding a partner, for instance, who has those qualities, a male or female, who makes me complete. That's the thinking. Or by obtaining a certain level of economic development. I feel incomplete. I cannot enjoy what I want to enjoy, which would make me happy. I'm incomplete. Therefore, I'm working on economic development. Or I'm incomplete. I'm not beautiful enough. Let me do some cosmetic surgery. And seemingly, nowadays people, they're having, women mainly, not only, they're having some Botox injection or some fillers on the eyebrows and on the chin, and they feel that doesn't look perfect and so on. Why is they doing that? Because they feel not completely perfect. They feel not completely beautiful. That's why people are not complete. They are, but they don't know. So if we come to the stage of Krishna consciousness and we realize, as Srila Prabhupada says here, he realizes his completeness in relation to the complete whole, in relation to Krishna. We are actually complete. We are complete units. Like the particles, the quantum particles in the emanating from the sun, they're complete. They're complete in themselves. They're emanating heat, they're emanating light, they're emanating warmth. So if people become Krishna conscious, or if we become Krishna conscious, we're realizing our completeness in relation to the complete whole, as expressed here, in relation to Krishna. And if we're realizing our completeness in relation to Krishna, there is no more hankering. We are satisfied. Because we are not satisfied out of want of becoming complete. That's why. Out of that want. Therefore we're searching. So, what is that? If we're finding our completeness, if we have full knowledge, then we're coming to the Brahma Buddha stage. We have talked so many times about it. Brahma Buddha Prasanatma na shochati na kangshati. Shri Shri Nitai Sachi Sundar Ji Ki Jai. Giriraj Govardhan Ji Ki Jai. Nrsingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. So our offering goes on the altar now. Krishna is getting his prasadam, is getting his nicely cooked by Varshana Mataji. And Ben Prabhu is doing the offering. So, yes, completeness realized is a Brahma Buddha platform. Na shochati, na kangshati, no more hankering, no more lamenting, completely self-satisfied. We don't need to hanker anymore. We don't hanker for becoming complete because we realize we're already complete. Isn't that beautiful? That we want to achieve. coming to set. And then our devotional service is really starting to become very, very meaningful, because we're not anymore wanting something from the Lord. We're just giving. Are there any questions? Amrita Radhe Mataji. So far. And we only read a fraction of the purport. Rituan Prabhu, Amrita Radhe Mataji. Any questions?
We really liked the story.
Yeah, it was a really nice story. I never heard about this story, Atma Prabhu and this devotee, elderly devotee.
You never
Really,
heard this story?
no, Prabhu. It is really inspiring that, like in the
Prabhupada's
scriptures,
mercy.
we say that Prabhupada's mercy and the holy name, these two, alone can, transfer us to the abode of the kingdom of Krishna, Goloka Vrindavan. So this is like an example, burning example. I never knew that this story. It's a wonderful story. Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Thank
the
you.
spiritual master is very merciful, particularly if someone like that gentleman is so eager. He could see in his heart that eagerness. That man was really, really eager to advance in his spiritual life and to surrender to Srila Prabhupada. So the spirit, if someone is wanting to surrender to Guru, the Guru may test that person sincerity, but spiritual master is very merciful, and Srila Prabhupada was very, very merciful. Yes, that's a nice story. And
Can I say?
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, Prabhu, I remember one thing. Can I say?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, this story also is like is an example of what Srila Rupa Goswami said, that three things are required in order to progress in Krishna consciousness. One is eagerness, one is faith, and what is it? The patience. These three. So this
What was
devotee,
the third one? What was the last one?
patience,
Patience, yes, of course.
patience, faith, and eagerness.
Right.
So this story is also again another example of that. Hare Krishna.
That is, of course, we know faith, Shraddha. That's the first step to coming to Krishna consciousness. Shraddha, and then moving up in progressing to anartha nivritti and further. Faith. Eagerness. Eagerness is utsaha, is enthusiasm. That's very close by. Enthusiasm and eagerness are almost the same. So, enthusiasm is very important. Srila Prabhupada wanted the devotees to be enthusiastic and not just kind of getting into a routine like a job, like a day job, so just going to the motion. No, that's not enough. Every day has to be fresh and new. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada very often says, or said, as managers, don't kill the enthusiasm of the devotees. Very important. Don't centralize anything, because that will kill the enthusiasm of the devotees. Let them do. Let them do. There is a very interesting story where Srila Prabhupada, there were some guests, and there was one boy from Austria. He has just freshly come to Krishna consciousness, just that evening. But he had obviously some attraction and some faith. And Srila Prabhupada, just out of nowhere, he said, why don't you open a center in Austria? Right, he empowered him. why don't you open a center in Austria? Because Austria at that time, there was no temple, no nothing. He said, why don't you open a center in Austria? He wasn't kind of, okay, are you qualified? You can only open a center if you chant 16 rounds, and if you Brahmin initiated, and this and this and that. No, nothing of that sort. So, enthusiasm, very, very important. So Srila Prabhupada said, if you centralize things, it will kill the enthusiasm of the devotees. They will just beg and ask for money, and all the decisions are taken by a centralized body. No. Local devotees, they should learn of doing all these things. Never mind if there is botheration of separate tax certificate and all these formalities. Let the devotees learn. Of course, things have to be done properly. Accounts have to be kept nicely. But let them, by their enthusiasm, don't kill that enthusiasm by your management. Inspire that enthusiasm. That's very important. Because very often we see, with so much formality and so much, you cannot do this, you cannot open a center, you have to ask us first, or this or that. So many things you can't. Because we like to be the controllers also, isn't it? Not everybody, but some like to be the controllers. So that utsaha, that eagerness, we should never extinguish that eagerness. We should be eager, and we should act in such a way that others are eager too. And Srila Prabhupada also said, always present a new challenge to be met, to kindle that eagerness. And then the last point, patience. Yes, we have to be very patient in Krishna consciousness, because things are not necessarily happening on the same day, or happening as quickly as we would like it to happen, because we have to go through a purification process, and there is no much jumping the queue. We just be very patient. And there's this beautiful verse which Ben likes very much about patience. What's that verse, Ben?
Which one is that?
If one patiently suffers the results of his karma. Your favorite verse, you said it so many times.
And he suffered patiently the sufferings of the karma, and offer your obeisances to the Lord in your heart. It's your birthright. Living into this birthright is to be liberated, to go back home to God.
Birthright, yes, here is a verse from the Bhagavatam. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him. Because we need the causeless mercy of the Lord. Without the causeless mercy of the Lord, we are nothing. We need the causeless mercy of the spiritual master too. It's not a mechanical process, I do A, B, and C, and then D will happen. No, it's not like that. In fact, all our acting in Krishna consciousness is to invoke the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So if we earnestly wait for you, my Lord, to bestow your causeless mercy, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of our past misdeeds, patiently suffering the reactions, and there is the patience coming in. Not complaining, oh, why has this happened to me, and why is that? No. That everything which is not to our liking happens for some reason. And everything, of course, which is to our liking also happens for some reason. But because this is our karmic reaction from many previous lifetimes. So, patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances within his heart, words, and body. So, a devotee is always offering obeisances to the Lord within the heart, with his words, and with his body. Such a person is surely eligible for liberation, as Ben just said. Eligible for liberation, Brahma Buddha liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. Birthright, as Ben said. So that's a beautiful verse. There's a patience coming in. Any other questions? I'll send you that verse, yes. Any other questions? Vajana Mataji, you have been listening in the kitchen.
I have been listening, yes.
Yes? So, question? No?
No.
Everything
I was listening, but not
clear?
anything, not quite, you know.
Okay. Ben, you have a question? Speak it into the microphone.
I mean, would you say that, Srila Prabhupada, he did a translation on Sri Isopanisad, but why do you think he did the translation on Sri Isopanisad when the language is more inclined towards a kind of impersonal, abstract concept of the Supreme?
Yes, good question. I put this question to Rituan Prabhuji. Why has Srila Prabhupada even done, that's the only Upanishad he has done, the Isopanisad. Why has Srila Prabhupada translated and purported the Isopanisad, Amritarati?
Yes, Prabhu, actually, I heard it in Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's lecture, Bhakti Shastri lecture. He talked about there being in Vedic literature there being Shruti and Smriti. So Shruti is like the four Vedas and the Upanishad, which the saints or sages have heard or these literatures have been revealed to them in their heart and they have written it as it is. While Smriti is something like which the knowledge which they have assimilated and then written. So Smritis includes all the Puranas, etc. So, like Mahabharata, for example, of which Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a part of. And of course, Bhagavad Gita has a special status of being both Shruti and Smriti because it is part of a Smriti but is actually direct word of God, which is the definition of Shruti. So Srila Prabhupada wanted some literature from the Shruti group also to be translated and presented. So Ishopanishad is that literature which is actually a Shruti, exclusively or purely a Shruti. Hence, it was translated and commented upon by Srila Prabhupada. That is what I've heard, Prabhu, and that is what I remember also.
But my question is, why, or Ben's question is, why he translated the Shruti, the Isopanishad? Why?
Okay, why specifically Ishopanishad you are saying? In comparison to other Upanishads? Is that your question?
Seemingly not for completeness or any other reason. Ben, you know why? You asked the question?
My best.
Okay, so you answer the question.
Well, my best.
Okay.
This is my realization has just come to me in this moment.
Okay.
And it's that Prabhupada is very much interested to capture the minds of impersonalists.
Absolutely.
So even in his pranams, it's like he's come here to
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi.
Shunyavadi. He wants to get rid of impersonalism and voidism. So, yeah, that's what came to me.
That would be my answer as well. Srila Prabhupada wanted to catch those who are not directly taking to Krishna consciousness, but who are somehow or other attached to the impersonal understanding from that angle. Just as Lord Buddha trying to catch the atheists by saying there is no God. The atheist likes to hear that. There is no God. Follow me instead. And he was God. Transcendental cheating. So, like Lord Buddha, Krishna is doing this trickery. So Srila Prabhupada is also trying to catch those who are on the outside a little bit. Like Lord Chaitanya, he did the same thing. Who did he try to catch?
And Prakasananda.
Yes, also impersonalist. And what was one of the methods Lord Chaitanya is trying to catch? Catch means trying to bring into the realm of bhakti. What was his method, his prime method to catch the impersonalists?
Was it like to challenge them in a sense of like the tradition of Pandit, the persons that go around and they extol that their commentary, their understanding is the best, and then they compete with each other in terms of my philosophy and your philosophy, and whoever kind of defeats the other party, that party kind of surrenders, and all their disciples surrender to the Pandit who's most, in a sense, more superior in knowledge and understanding.
Yes, of course, that was in his pastimes as Nimai Pandit, the great logician, defeated the Kashmiri Pandit and so on. But that wasn't the prime, but that was one way. But as Lord Chaitanya, he's taking sannyas. Very significant. Because these people would have never listened to him. Oh, that is just Nimai Pandit, the logician. So, but he takes sannyas, and naturally, you take sannyas, you respect, immediately respect is there, right? So, say, listen to him. So, in this way, he caught them. So, that is very significant. Does that answer your question, Amrita Radhe Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Or rather, that answers my question. How? Why did Srila Prabhupada translate the Isopanisad? Are there any other questions to what we have read tonight? Rituan, Amrita Radhe Mataji, Ben. Prakash, you're still here? What is happening? You're not going to sleep tonight? Oh, I've never seen you that long.
Rashmi's gone.
Are you staying all night long through, Prakash?
Rashmi's gone.
Or you forgot to switch off your computer? So, Rituan, anything else?
Prabhu, I was thinking like on Wednesdays, if you could, if all other devotees agree, discuss Ishopanishad sequentially, like, because I'll try to be on every Wednesday, like at least for an hour. Hopefully. So if we can discuss Ishopanishad sequentially. This is just a suggestion, Prabhu.
wants to discuss on a Wednesday Sri Isopanisad sequentially, she said.
Which one?
Sri Isopanisad.
Isopanisad.
Ah.
On a Wednesday, yes, we can do. We can do on a Wednesday. Prepare any questions. Prepare a
Prabhu,
verse. Prepare a
Prabhu,
verse.
sequentially. One by one, sequentially. If we can study, we'll finish Isopanisad. That's what I would suggest.
You study Isopanisad at the moment?
I can study along with the classes if you take on Wednesday.
Okay. So come up with a verse on Wednesday and then we'll discuss.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you. Thank you.
Rituan, anything? Something to add?
No, Prabhu. Thank you for the class. Nothing else.
There is one more thing I would like to add, if I find it. Lord, I read. That is, the source is the Brahma Vaivrata Purana. There is described a conversation that took place in Dwarka between Lord Krishna and Srimati Ganga Devi, Ganga Mata. Ganga Devi came to express her fears with the advent of the age of Kali. So that was 5,000 years ago, at least, when Kali started, and Lord Krishna was preparing to leave. So she expressed her fear and the imminent departure of the Lord back to his eternal abode. In her anxiety, she spoke on behalf of all sacred rivers and said, so she's a leader of the sacred rivers, Ganga. O Lord, we can see that your pastimes are about to end, and people are becoming more and more materialistic. You have been very merciful to us. After you leave, however, all the sinful people of Kali Yuga will bathe in our waters, and we will be overwhelmed with sinful reactions. A legitimate concern, because people in India, and not only from India, from all over the world, they're going to the Ganga and they want to purify their sinful karma, bathing in the Ganga. And in fact, bathing in the Ganga and emerging out of the Ganga, one feels entirely purified, externally and internally. That's at least my experience. So, let's see what Krishna is saying. Lord Krishna smiled and replied, my dear Ganga Devi, be patient. Again, patience. After 5,000 years, my mantra Upasaka, so worshipper of the holy name, that's what it means, mantra Upasaka, will appear in this world and spread the chanting of the holy name everywhere. Not only in Bharatvarsha, India, but also all over the world, people will chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By this chant, the entire world will become Ekavarna, having a designation, namely Hari Bhaktas, devotees of Lord Hari. And because the devotees of the Lord are so pure, anyone who contacts them will be purified of sinful reactions. One moment. Okay, so that is a significant portion now. With a mighty chopper of Nam Sankirtan, I am going to cut the knots of demoniac desires from everyone's heart. Even if sinners reject religion or flee to foreign countries, they will still get my mercy. I will send more Senapati Bhakta to go there and free them. More means my. Senapati means military camp commander and Bhakta means devotee. So, more Senapati Bhakta refers to that great devotee who will lead the Sankirtan army of Lord Chaitanya, who is empowered by the Lord to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Said more Senapati Bhakta is Srila Prabhupada, and even some still won't recognize it. In time they will. This is the greatest blessing of our time. So, here again, in the same way as Lord Buddha, in the same way as Lord Buddha has caught the atheist and Lord Chaitanya has caught the impersonalist, so Lord Krishna has made arrangements that even those they're fleeing to foreign countries, they're going away, they will be caught by the Sankirtan movement even in foreign countries. I could make a case that could mean those who leaving Bharata and going to the Western countries, they will run away from the spiritual culture of India and they're coming to Western countries and there are the devotees chanting Hare Krishna and be caught in this way. There's a nice story, that's the last thing before we stop, which explains the same point. There was a Namhata group, a Bhakti Vriksha group, in fact. And in a neighborhood, and they invited one neighbor. He recently moved to that neighborhood, and they went to him and said, why don't you, we have a meeting and there is some nice food and there is this and that, why don't you come? And he said, no. And again they came, and other devotees came and petitioned him to come, join us. It's very nice. There's some nice food stuff. There is some nice singing. There is dancing. Nice company. Why join us? And he was getting annoyed. Then it happened so he moved away to a different part of the town. And there was also a Namhata group. And there also a Bhakti Vriksha group. They also saw here's a new person coming to our neighborhood. Let's invite him to come and join our meeting. And they knocked on his door and said, come, join us. We have some nice food. We have some dancing. We have some singing. Why don't you join us? And he said, what again? If I seem to be not able to get away from you, I must very well, I may join you. And he joined the Namhata group. And he started to chant Hare Krishna. So, persistence. We can run away to Western countries. The Lord will catch us. We can run away, and being atheist, Lord Buddha catches us. We run away, and being impersonalist, Lord Chaitanya catches us. So, there is always someone in the Sankirtan movement who will catch us. Hare Krishna. On that note, we stop, because prasadam is ready here. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward of seeing you, Amrita Radhe Mataji, prepare a verse from the Isopanisad and we discuss. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anandakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Gaura Premanandi, Haribol, everybody, Prakash, Jayanti Bai, Rituan Prabhu, Amrita Radhe Mataji. Thank you for being here tonight. See you on Wednesday. Hare Krishna.